everyone. Welcome back to our All About PA podcast, where we talk about everything and anything Pennsylvania. My name is Bernice.
And I'm Chandler, and this is All About PA. I'd like to start by officially apologizing for my hat. No, it's not a MAGA hat, but it might be the second worst hat to be wearing in Philly right now. It is an LA Dodgers hat. For the record, I didn't want the series to end like that either, but we move on. So how are you doing today, Bernice?
I'm doing good. I'm very excited. Just kind of like starting my day off with a good bang,
Yeah, I mean, we're almost a week out from the election, which is crazy.
Insane.
The election is right around the corner. And it's like, I feel like there's so much to cover, and it's because it's a really important election this time.
I think that the fact that people are still unaware on how important this is because of just like, the day-to-day distractions that are rightfully so placed there. But, this could also mean, what do you want the rest of the 10 years in the future to look like too? Like if you're having a bad day today or a bad time now, it could get worse. So. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we have 3 Supreme Court justices up for retention this November. And, just a lot of people are still not really aware that this election is happening. I mean, there's so much on the ballot. You have your school board, you have your borough council, you have your mayor, township offices, and of course our courts. Yeah. And, I feel like a lot of people don't always assume these are so important, but every election is important. And just because it's happening in an odd year and not an even year doesn't make it not important.
Right. And the fact that, people don't think about how directly our state officials impact us. We have a state Supreme Court. Like it's still very significant to our day-to-day everything. They make those final calls. They are the ones that literally sit there and make these decisions on behalf of everybody in Pennsylvania. You, myself, everyone. And I feel like when it comes to those type of elections, people should be more cautious and more aware and hold them to higher value than the presidential elections at times because of the fact that, things can be happening in DC, but like abortion rights, right? Abortion is still legal in Pennsylvania because of our state officials. And I feel like that weighs so much more. While things are happening outside of our state, we should be thinking about, how lucky we are to continue the fight, right? And still have those people that are fighting for the people and for our rights.
And just to be clear, the PA Supreme Court is different from the U.S. Supreme Court.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of confusion, and I don't blame people. They're both called the Supreme Court, but they're entirely different bodies. I mean, the U.S. Supreme Court, we all know, is totally screwing us. They work for Trump. They're doing whatever he says, just totally rolling over, stripping away healthcare rights, freedoms, laundry list of evil.
Just shenanigans too.
Terrible things. The PA Supreme Court is very different. They're not nominated by Trump. Trump has no power over the PA Supreme Court. The PA Supreme Court rules only for us. And so, voters might hear the Supreme Court and think like, well, they suck.
Right.
Which, the U.S. Supreme Court sucks.
Right.
But like our PA Supreme Court is doing a lot of work for us. I mean, they've ruled on protecting our environment. They've ruled on protecting our voting rights.
Gerrymandering.
Yep, exactly. And
throwing away ballots.
Yeah. They're the ones with the final say on all of these issues. And so that's the whole reason we're having this election, this retention election. It gives Pennsylvania voters the power to say who sits on that court, who makes these decisions. And when we go into the ballot box in November and we vote to retain these justices, it keeps that power in our hands. Because, I mean, there's some pretty rich people trying to undermine the courts and sway the outcome of this election.
Correct. And the audacity, because you have rich people that they're so bored with their money, let's just have a little control about what goes on in this state because we want to, because we can. And I feel like people should feel excited that they are able to participate in choosing the people that make these decisions for them so that they can go back home, do their thing, wake up, kids to school, go to work.
Yep.
And they feel a little bit more liberated than having to deal with those, with things that get in the way of just having a normal day when you're just trying to get to work, trying to come back home, do the best for your family, put food on the table. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's an honor as a Pennsylvanian to be part of that process. And if folks start looking at it that way, it won't feel so strange. It won't feel so new. It won't feel so like unknown to them. And they'll know the difference. Oh, right. Our state Supreme Court is on our side. Yeah. Where, the U.S. Supreme Court is on Trump's side. So
exactly. And I mean, there's a lot of talk, rightfully so, about the economy and jobs and inflation. And like people may not realize that like the PA Supreme Court does have a hand. I mean, they've ruled for labor unions. Mm-hmm. They've ruled saying that like we as workers have the right to organize. Mm-hmm. They've shown that they stand mm-hmm. with workers mm-hmm. in Pennsylvania. And mm-hmm. so, these offices like our courts do affect things like the economy in ways that like we might not immediately think about. And so getting out there to vote is really important because like you said, we have these bored rich people like Jeffrey Yass, the richest man in Pennsylvania.
Seriously.
Elon Musk, no introduction necessary, and Trump and, these just wealthy billionaires who are trying to essentially buy out the court by misleading people, mm-hmm. straight up lying to people, confusing them about what exactly the PA Supreme Court does. And, the reason they're trying to do all this is to essentially hand pick who ends up on our courts.
Yeah.
And, because if these judges aren't retained, it leads to another election down the road, which they're also going to invest millions of dollars in, also going to invest misinformation in. Mm-hmm. And, it's like we can't give them a foothold. We already have a corrupt billionaire in the White House. We don't need corrupt billionaires on the PA Supreme Court.
Yeah. I feel like whoever's listening, right? Please listen to what Chandler just said. We already have a corrupt president. We cannot let that happen in Pennsylvania. The people, that is what governance is. By the people, for the people. So please just turn out on November 4th and protect our democracy. And it's so much more. It's like your day to day. The PA Supreme Court protects tenants and homeowners. They've done so much to make sure that everyone's listening. And I know that housing is a huge issue right now too.
Absolutely.
Because of the cost of living. Things have gone higher and they continue to get more expensive.
It'll go a long way in protecting what we cherish in Pennsylvania against attacks from the federal government, attacks from billionaires, attacks mm-hmm. from corporations. It does a huge, huge service in protecting Pennsylvania and our communities.
Agreed. Turn out, be selfless, do what's right, do right by others. And it's fun too. I love election day.
I always make sure I get out and vote.
Oh my gosh. I feel like so many organizations in Pennsylvania just go out of their, they plan around election day. They have entertainment. They mm-hmm. have, people greeting you before you go into your polling place. It becomes like this huge community thing in every poll place corner. And I'm saying that because I've experienced it. I've been part of it, and as a voter and as a canvasser, I feel like it's just the most fun. It's like a carnival. I mean, it might be my Latin roots, but I love a party. And when you have a certain group of, people gathered somewhere and they're all happy to see you, it becomes a party. And you're just happy to be there.
Sounds a lot more exciting than mine.
Oh my gosh. And it's not just mine. Like I've been to other different polling places just to kind of like check in what's going on as a canvasser. And the experience was just so amazing. And I feel like that's also, another motivation. If you like a party, turn to the polls, because there's always a poll. Like even here in Philly, you have Joy to the Polls and Pizza to the Polls. And it's just, I know that these things happen during major elections, but however, even if it's not, as grand as those, you still have local organizations who are still making a day of it. And just kind of, being welcoming to communities. I mean, Halloween is like we're near a holiday. So it's also, it's more likely you'll see people outside. And if you can't vote in person and you requested your mail ballot and you have it, find your local drop box and go hand it in.
Yeah. I mean, with this interesting judicial retention election that we have coming up, people might not know about the election, but even if you do, people might not know that the retention election, depending on where you live, might actually be on the back of your ballot as well, you know? And so it's super important that, wherever you live, wherever county, because in Pennsylvania, each county's ballot is different. We're just special like that, I guess. That you fill out the front and make sure you double check the back, flip it over, check out if there's any questions on the back, fill that out as well, because, you don't want to miss a question. You want to make sure that you're voting, filling out the entire ballot. You want to fill it out, flip it over, just double, triple check, I mean, these elections are big stakes. So we want to make sure that we vote in every question, and especially the retention election questions that if they're on the back, some people, fill out the front might not know about the back. So super important that we check that.
All the way, complete it all the way. Even the things that you think are not, read all of the ballot, read everything and make sure you are completely completing your ballot.
Absolutely. And that goes for mail ballots too, I mean, by now at this point, it's way too late to put it in the mail. Yeah. It's not going to arrive to your county's Board of Elections on time. So you want to make sure that you return your mail ballot. You want to go to vote.pa/return to find out where your Board of Elections is, what their hours are, where and how you can return your mail ballot and make sure it gets counted. But at this point, I know the name is misleading of a mail ballot at this point, but do not mail the mail ballot anymore. Right?
If you have a ballot of sorts, okay, if you have it in your hand, do not mail it. Don't put it in the mail. It's too late. Find out your local drop box. Go hand deliver it.
Yeah, I remember one year, I think it was like 2022 when I was down at school in DC and I got a mail-in ballot, and I got it early and I filled it out and put it in the mail. I think it was like maybe 2.5 weeks before election day. Yeah. And I didn't get a notification that my county's Board of Election got it until the day of election day.
Oh my gosh.
So I thought I had enough time. Yeah. You definitely don't have enough time now. So just make sure that
play it safe.
Play it safe. Absolutely.
Don't risk it.
No. And for those of you who aren't, voting by mail, if you're voting in person like me, I love going to the polls. Yeah. I've been going to the polls in person since I was like 14 with my parents. Nice. So I like to do it when I can, but unfortunately, some employers don't give off or don't give time to go vote on election day. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you have a plan of action. You want to make sure you have an idea of when you're going to vote, where your polling place is, and you can find all that information at vote.pa/polls. You can find your polling location. You can also go to vote.pa/plan, figure out how you're going to vote, all that information. Because it's like when you make a plan, you're much more likely to go and do it.
Oh yeah,
right?
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. You have to plan around it. I voted early. I love to say that because I don't want to chance it, but I do love going to the polls or when I'm outside, I see people either dropping off their ballots, and it's just nice. You get to start a conversation with someone. But I go early, and even so, I still plan around it. Because you never know what you're going to come up with, or there's stuff happens on a daily basis. So you want to make sure that you are able to carry out your voting. Despite traffic, or if you don't have a car, you get the routes for the local bus, or you get a ride from a friend, or you get, you just put things together, or you make a day of it. I like to make things fun. So if I'm going to do something, it's an adventure. And I make sure that I am either, it's adding up to that moment. But yeah, making a plan for everything is usually key to making sure that it does go through. Specifically when it comes to voting, like you said, employers may not have the capability to give off, depending on the type of job people have.
Right.
There's certain jobs you just can't call off from, or you can do it beforehand. Okay, that's also part of the plan.
Polls open
I wouldn't wait till the day of. Yeah, I wouldn't wait till the day of. Some people have pets that they have to walk, and all that time. All of those things come into play when you are trying to vote. And maybe because some people are so used to it, they don't think about it. Their body is on autopilot, and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot. I have to squeeze in some time to go downtown and vote, but it's lunchtime and I want to eat, and then, things get in the way. So making a plan is definitely the best way to go when it comes to these things. If you're like me and you like to get it, done with, and you're like, okay, cool, now I can relax, then definitely vote. Be one of those that votes early, or if you still have your ballot, literally go drop it off now. Yes, do it now. That's it's, to get more information on that and to help you make a plan, visit vote.pa/plan, and you'll be able to kind of put all those things together.
Yeah. I mean, my mom is invested in politics. She likes to get involved, passionate. But even this past March in the special election, she was like, I'm not voting today. I can't. I don't have time.
Oh, mom.
And I know. And so it's even the best intentioned people, can't always make it out to the polls.
Yeah.
So, having a plan is important. I remember in 2020, the first time I cast my ballot in person, because I was actually too young, because my birthday's in June. I was too young to vote in the PA primary.
That's right.
So November of 2020 was the first time
How exciting was that? Oh my gosh.
First time I ever cast a vote. And I was living in Doylestown at the time, but I was registered in Lancaster. I woke up in Doylestown. I drove over to Lancaster, picked up my friend. We went and voted together.
Picked up the friend.
Yep.
Love that.
Dropped them off. Drove back to Doylestown.
That is so fun.
So yeah. And granted I wasn't working, so it was a bit easier for me to do that. But just having a plan is super, super essential.
I tried to get everybody on board, hey, what are you doing? You want to go vote? And if I get any oh no, I don't, I'll give you a ride. I'll pick you up. We'll go together. That's totally fine. I think I did that with my mom, and we both went. And it was nice. It was a nice time. Our polling places are throughout the city. And obviously that was back when I lived with my mom. We had the same polling place. So we just went together. It was really cute. We saw a lot of people there. Again, it's a party at the polls. So just even being helpful to folks that kind of tell you, oh, I want to go, but this and this. Oh, how can I help? How can I help you do that? How can I help you get to the polls or help you cast your ballot?
Yeah.
I feel that's just it just brings that out, that the election season brings out the selflessness of people, and then the willingness to participate or be part of something is just very strong. The feels, I'm a vibe person. I feel it first, and then I kind of dissect it and talk about it, but it's definitely in the air. Yeah.
So threw out a lot of information, but a quick TLDR. If you have a mail ballot, don't mail it. Find your return place at vote.pa/return. If you're voting in person, make a plan at vote.pa/plan. Find your polling place at vote.pa/polls. Even better, make a whole plan at vote.pa/plan. So just make sure you get your voice counted, because like we said, this election is super critical. There's a lot of bad faith actors who are using, any attempts to confuse, spread misinformation, and just straight out buy out our courts, take them out of the power of Pennsylvanians' hands. And you want to make sure that you get out in this election and you vote, and that we can protect our PA Supreme Court.
That's right. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. And that is all. Thank you for joining us for our All About PA podcast. My name is Bernice.
And my name is Chandler. Don't forget to like and subscribe for our next episode. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at All About PA.
And a special shout out to our tech team at Rolling Lemon.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.